Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to House Calls with your man, Dr. Rory T. Edwards, on this amazing Wednesday, March 11th, 2026. And I think we have a great episode for you this evening because, if you've been following or if you've been receiving some of the messages that I've sent, what we're doing is we are addressing the Empower 9 system that I created some years ago and sort of defined and refined it to be the next greatest system that will change the way people operate in the world. And so this week we're on House Calls week number 6, and we're going to be addressing the relational pillar. So that's about relationships. And so I want to start with something that I think a lot of people understand, but I think sometimes it can draw people in. And I want to start with a story. So I want to start with a gentleman who I had a conversation with. So the man said yesterday a man woke up at 6:30 in the morning. Before he even got out of bed, he had already entered 3 relationships. The one with the voice in his head saying, "Get up, you're already behind." The one with his phone scrolling through other people's lives, and the one with the person next to him, who he barely spoke to before rushing out the door. By noon, he had interacted with coworkers, a cashier, a stranger in traffic, and a text message from someone he loves. And by the end of the day, he says something most people say: relationships are exhausting. So I want to start off with that because when we talk about the relational pillar, we always go towards one thing and said, but here's the truth. He didn't just have one relationship yesterday. He had hundreds of relational moments that took place. And that's where today's house call begins. When most people hear the word relationship, their mind goes to one place: a partner, a spouse, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, maybe even marriage. And when those relationships feel heavy, people say one thing: love is hard, relationships take work. That's just how it is. But in everything, and you're going to see, if you're listening to these episodes that I'm putting together, you're going to see that all these pillars connect to how you operate in your life every day. So, like I say every week, first thing I do when I come into these houses, I got to diagnose you. So what's the relational pillar? What really is the relational pillar? The relational pillar is about how you connect, not just romantically, not just physically, because relational energy governs every interaction in your day. The main thing is the relationships that you have with yourself, with your partner, with your children, with your co-workers, with your friends, the stranger at the grocery store, the barista handling your coffee, Starbucks, the driver next to you in traffic. From the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep, you are moving through relationships. Why is this pillar so important? Because from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep, there are relationships that we're dealing with. If you are a spiritual person, your relationship with how you ask the Creator to design your day, and when you go to sleep, how you ask the Creator to watch over you as you sleep and prepare you for tomorrow's day. So, relationships are something you're moving through constantly, every day. Relationships in life are consistent, but we reduce it to romance because that's all we say. When somebody says, "How's your relationship?" You say, "Well, I'm single, I'm married, it's difficult." You respond to how social media defines relationships, right? It's difficult, single, married, complicated, things of that nature. And when we do that, we miss where the pillar of relational actually begins. So, the starting point for this whole pillar is your relationship with yourself, right? because most times we allow other people to define what our relationships are. So let me give you some things that I think are very important on how the day helps you when you first wake up in designing what your relationship with yourself is. The first relationship you experience every day is the one you have with yourself. The voice in your head when you wake up, the way you speak to yourself when you make mistakes, right? If you make mistakes in your brain, you're saying, you're so stupid. Why are you thinking like that? That's why nobody supports you. See, those are the thoughts that you have in your head. The patience you offer yourself when you're tired. If that relationship is harsh, if it's critical, if it's impatient, then every other relationship you walk into carries that same energy. Because how you relate to yourself becomes the template of how you relate to others. So what I've done extra this week for you is I've designed a relational map, a relational day map. How many relationships you actually navigate through in one day. And this has been condensed. This is condensed. But I want you to think about this stuff when I'm talking to you. So let's talk about when you wake up in the morning. Your first relationship, your relationship with yourself when you wake up, the voice in your head, you know, all of the decisions you wake up with trying to make. Your relationship with your body, how you wake up, with energy, fatigue. Do you do exercise? Do you care for yourself? Do you neglect yourself? Do you go eat stuff real quick on the run? Your relationship with your partner or family members in the house. Do you wake up in a sense that you don't have time to engage with your family? You don't ask your children how their day is going to be at school. You don't do anything because you're so engaged with trying to design your day. That's what I mean. Your relationship with your children, your relationship with your family members. Number 5, your relationship with time. Are you rushed or are you intentional? Do you do things that are going to create a positive agenda for the day? Or are you just on the go all the time? Oh my God, I'm late. I got to get here. I got to get here because if I don't get here by 7 o'clock, it's going to be traffic. You see how I'm talking? That's how you begin to talk when you're having relationships with yourself during the day. Your relationship with your phone. Do you respond to emails while you're driving? Do you respond to the news? Do you turn on social media? Do you look for how many people are liking you? Or like the comment that you have? Are you looking at what's going on in the world? Are you consumed by the news? These are relationships that you have during the day. Let's continue. Your relationship with comparison. Seeing other people's lives online, you're like, I grew up with that person. How has he got this? How she have this? How's she dressing like this? She doesn't live here. This is all fake. You see how what you're actually doing to your own psyche during the course of the day. Now let's talk about your commute during the early day. Your relationship with traffic, strangers in traffic. If somebody cuts you off, do you crash out? Do you crash out? You cuss them out? You want to get out and fight? You better look at that video on Facebook. You better leave black people alone. You remember that guy? Okay. Your relationship with patience. Do you understand that if you're late for your job, unless it's a job that really demands you being on time or early, then your job is going to be there when you get there. There's circumstances that could happen that could change the way that you get to your job. Your relationship with frustration. Do you get mad if somebody cuts you off? If you're driving a 2-car distance, somebody cuts you off, do you get frustrated with that? Your relationship with the service workers. You may stop and get a coffee. The barista who's done your coffee every day, but today the heart's a little off. Do you get frustrated with that? Do you get frustrated with the cash register, the cashier, because she's a little slower? Do you get frustrated with the receptions when you get to the job because she has to buzz you in and she may be in the bathroom? Right? So these are the things. Now your work or your daily responsibilities. Your relationship with authority, your boss, your supervisor, leadership in the company. How do you think about that? Your relationship with your coworkers, your relationship with collaboration. Are you willing to work with other people to advance the outcomes of what you are at work to do? Your relationship with competition. Do you think because somebody has a different position from you that they deserve more than you? Or what is competition? Who are you in competition with? So what's your relationship with competition? You see how these things actually work into your relational the relational pillar, right? Your relationship with responsibilities. If somebody says, well, I need for you to do X, Y, Z in today, and you say, well, that's not my job description. It could be someone testing to see if you really have to, if you're really part of the team and you want to do extra things. Your relationship with failures or mistakes. If you make a mistake, how willing are you to admit that mistake and move on? Now let's keep going. The midday emotional relations, your relationship with stress. By midday, we know most people who are at jobs really don't like them, are stressed like no other, and they're just trying to find a way out. Your relationship with confidence. Do you believe that you're the best person for the position and that nothing can sway you or move you? Right? Your relationship with criticism. Somebody comes in and says, one of the employees told me that, you were really harsh on them today, and I think that we need to be a little bit more, gentle with how we deal with our clients, because we know that some of them need a little bit more coddling than the job requires. But that's just part of this. And your relationship with recognition. If other people get recognized, how do you take that? Right? So let's move to your evening relationship. Your relationship with your family when you return home. Have you woosah during the day? Did you stop somewhere to sort of woosah? Did you stop at the bar to try to take the edge off by indulging in libation? Your relationship with conversation. If you stop somewhere, how's your conversation? Are you engaged in conversation, or do you look at conversation as very confrontational? Your relationship in listening. Do you listen to people's thoughts and do you share them, or do you just listen and then you move on and you share your problems, right? And then your relationship with your emotional presence. Are you present in the moment, or are you just there in body only? So these are things, and then you got to look at your nighttime relationship, because now when you get home, these are the things. Your relationship with reflection. How do you look at things? Do you reflect on the day and say, what could I have done better? What really irritated me? This is what I'm talking about when you journal. When you get home, your nighttime relationship should be where we're journaling on how you can make tomorrow better than today happened. Your relationship with gratitude or regret. Like I just said, what do you write down in your journal? What were you happy for, and what did you regret that happened today that you can change tomorrow? Your relationship with rest. Do you release a lot of those things that you have no control over back to the universe? And your relationship with preparing for tomorrow. Do you lay your head down? Do you talk to your creator? Do you talk to whoever you want to send that message to that night to let them know that tomorrow is going to be much better than today was, right? Now, you see the truth. The relational pillar is just not about love or who you love. It's about how you connect with everything around you, because every interaction carries energy. And when relational energy is balanced, life feels lighter. When it's strained, everything feels like work. See what I'm saying? So let's get back to this. How this pillar quietly breaks down. Most relational strains don't start with conflict. It starts with misalignment inside the system. We talk about the other pillars. When the relational pillar becomes weakened, boundaries become unclear, communication becomes reactive, expectations go unspoken, and emotional energy becomes depleted. You start saying things like, I'm always the one helping everybody. No one really checks on me. I'm tired of carrying people. And slowly love starts to feel like labor. Not because love is difficult, but because the system of relationships around you is out of balance. So this is why this pillar exists in this system. See, if you look at some of the human development systems, relationship pillar is not even included in there. People they don't think relationships are important. And that's why my Empower 9 program is so very powerful, and it's going to balance you out so that you live life on purpose. And so this is what I'm talking about. Why this pillar exists in the system. The relational pillar connects to every other pillar. When relationships feel safe and balanced, emotional distress decreases, physical tension lowers, Focus improves and confidence stabilizes. But when relationships feel strained, your emotional pillar absorbs the pressure. And we know what happens when we get emotional, don't we? Your physical pillar absorbs the stress. You can still go work out, but then when you get home, you're still tired and you say you feel like you didn't even work out. You felt like you were working against your body. You see, that's the energy working against trying to be negative, but your mind's thinking toxic, right? So you're trying to work off this energy, but your mind is so toxic with all of the stuff that occurred in your daily relational activities that you really can't get past that. Your intellectual pillar begins overthinking conversations. Everything that somebody says to you, you got to find a solution for it. You got to answer that question. Everything that's spoken doesn't need a response. And your occupational pillar carries the frustration to work. So one conversation can affect an entire day when that happens. One unresolved interaction can affect the entire pillar. That's why relational awareness matters, because relationships are not occasional, they are continuous. So here's a discussion reflection. I want you to sit with a few of these questions. When you wake up in the morning, I want you to write this down. If you have a journal, piece of pen, a piece of pen. I said a paper and a pen. I'm sorry. I'm speed talking because I really don't want to keep you on here all day. Is your first conversation with yourself in the morning supportive or critical? How do you think about yourself? How do you think about your day? What do you think about the people you're going to interact with during the day? Is it supportive that you're going to help them get through the day and you're going to have a great day and they're going to have a great day? Or are you saying, I can't even stand being with these people. I'm going there and go through the motions. Is it critical or is it supportive? Number two, do your perceived relationships give you energy or do they drain you? So the people you have to interact with during the day, does their energy drain you? Or do they support you so that you are energized by the end of the day? And are your boundaries clear? Or are they constantly negotiated? And one more important one that I think is very, 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 very important. Do you treat yourself with the same patience you treat others? Or at least offer others? Do you treat yourself with the same patience? And so you know what I do? I always give you a stabilizing action because I want you to put this stuff down in your journal. Today's stabilizing step is simple. Pause during one interaction today or tomorrow and ask yourself, am I responding with awareness or reacting from exhaustion? Number two, am I working on the relationship within me to be better, or am I presenting the one in the mirror I want everybody else to accept? And number three, sometimes the healthiest relationship shift isn't a big conversation. It's a real self-reflecting conversation. You got to really have that conversation with yourself. And in the small moments of awareness, that's where relational balance begins. And so in my closing call to action, I want to say that the relationship pillar, which everybody think was love, was never meant to feel like consistent work. Connection was meant to create stability. Anybody you connect with, if they're not stabilizing you, if they're not moving you to a higher plateau, separate. But when relationships are misunderstood or boundaries are unclear, even love can feel heavy. The relational pillar reminds us that every interaction carries energy, starting with the ones you have with yourself. So, that's my episode for today. This has been House Calls with your man, Dr. Rory T. Edwards. If you'd like to reach out to us and you can explore a little bit more, or you want to book a consultation with us, or you just want to book our services, you can reach us at rorytedwards1@gmail.com, or you can send one to rorytedwardsgroup.info@gmail.com. Once again, it's rorytedwards1@gmail.com, or you can do the rorytedwardsgroup.info@gmail.com. And Rory is spelled Rory. All right? And this has been House Calls, and I'll see you on the next House Calls, week number 7, with our social pillar. It's going to be powerful too, because the social pillar is, what is your circle costing you? What is your circle of influence costing you? So until next time, God willing, we'll see you here same time, same Facebook Live. And I thank all the people who checked in today, who are checking in. I want to say thanks to Coach Vince Carter, Sr., and Darren. Thank you very much for checking in. And we'll see you next week on the social pillar. What is your circle of influence costing you? It's your man, Dr. Rory T. Edwards. Ashe, and be well.